Good afternoon, and I guess we are back. Believe it or not, Iman, after almost 3 weeks, 3 weeks without seeing you. I mean, that's a long time. That's a long time. I've been missing you a lot, guys. And of course, my camera is misbehaving. I hope it stops misbehaving in a second. Give me a second, guys. Let me see. I think it's kind of all right there. So let's see. I mean, let me see if you guys are around. I'm just waiting for some people, to come in. Let me take a look at something here. Give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. There you go. There you go. I'm back there. There's something going on with my camera, so just let me help you. David, 3 week gap in our relationship, believe it or not, is incredible. Yeah, but I'm back. Here I am. Give me 1 sec. I'll do something. I'll do something with my camera. Now, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Please confirm you can hear me. I need somebody to tell me if you can hear me now. Yes, you can hear me. I was talking like a machine gun, guys. Yeah, thank you. Okay, I think we are all set up. We are all set up. Okay, now. Okay, good. Thank you for being here. Yes, you can hear me. I was saying that I'm here on behalf of the program Colombia Nos Une, Cancillería de Colombia, and the Embassy of Colombia in Houston, Texas, Centro Cultural Colombo Americano in Cali, Colombia. And this is Willie S. I'm so happy to be here. Want to say hello to everybody. George, Natalia, Dan, Ceci, Catalina, Cami, Juan Manuel. Thank you for being here, guys. You're making me extremely happy. It's been 3 weeks. I hope you guys have had the chance to, do different activities, use your English. I know you are always looking for opportunities to practice English, and that's why we are here. I don't know if we have somebody who is the first time here. Do not worry, okay? Do not panic. Everything you are going to do here is learning English, learning some things about English. Okay. So for everybody, I hope you enjoy our session today. I have prepared number one, a review of the last activity or the last lesson we had 3 weeks ago. Number two, a new topic. We're going to do something very interesting today because we are going to learn or we're going to share expressions to keep a conversation going. This is a topic that some people have shown interest in. They said, okay, how can I continue with a conversation when I'm talking to somebody in English. So we are going to do that. Maria del Pilar, good afternoon. Juresny, Sebastian, all of you, all of you. It's great that you guys are here. I love to be here as well. And, you know, time is money. So let's, I mean, let's start. Okay, good. Yeah, I was just reading some comments around here. All right, so here we go, guys. Here we go. Let me tell you what we are going to do today. Jose, Claudia, good afternoon. Okay, so this is session 34, believe it or not. Okay, and here we are. Okay, with our goals for today. Okay, we are going to review, because this is what we discussed the last lesson 3 weeks ago that we hadn't seen each other. Hopefully we will see, from now on for a while, every Monday at 5 p.m. Remember, Colombian time, if it's not a holiday. If it is not a holiday. All right, so we're going to review the use of adjectives and adverbs, how to give characteristics with that. We're going to talk about, and again, remember, I always tell my students, it's so important to remember. I mean, if you don't go over stuff, I mean, it's not going to sink there. All right. So we're going to also, as I said, learn some useful phrases for English conversation. We're going to learn some strategies on how to keep up with a conversation, and some expressions as well. All right. And we'll discuss word stress. That is an element that we need to retake because it's important for our pronunciation. So it looks like a fine class, let me tell you, and I think it is. Okay. Oh, Rosa Elvira is here. Hello, Rosa, Amir. Okay, Diego, greetings. Okay, Marce and Monique, everybody, welcome, welcome. Let's start this show. All right, yeah. So let's begin with the review of what we discussed 3 weeks ago in the past. 3 weeks ago, believe it or not. Okay, good. 3 weeks ago, we discussed the difference between good, that is an adjective. We said at that point that good modifies a noun, give a characteristic about a noun, yeah. And well, that is an adverb. And we said that well is a word that gives a characteristic as well as good, but about the verb. So we can modify nouns with adjectives, and we can modify verbs with adverbs. And when I say modify, is give a particular characteristic. It's not the same to say that you are a student, that if you say you are a good student, you are giving a different weight, to that. So you're giving a characteristic. And the same happens with the adverb well. It's not the same to cook. I cook, But if you say I cook well, that's different. You're giving a characteristic. So this is what we discussed 3 weeks ago. And I hope some of you remember. And if you were not here, okay, si es la primera vez que están acá, pues you got the information. Say, oh, okay, I know what they are talking about. They're talking about the difference between adjective and adverbs. Oh, okay, you got it. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. Let's keep on going. All right, let's keep on going. Um, these are some examples of adjectives that we discussed 3 weeks ago. You can say he's a good kid. You're giving a characteristic to kid. You can say, I had a good night's sleep. My night was excellent. I slept like a baby. I have a good night's sleep. All right. But you can also use an adverb. You can say he cooks well, or you can say we have slept well lately. We're talking about a characteristic to cook or a characteristic to sleep in these two sentences. All right. And we gave some examples, we discussed, and you gave me some examples as well. We made some corrections. And what we are going to have is our way of checking his quick time is your time. Okay, good. So I got my little friends here. You know, they are all excited about the quiz. This is the way I mind you are. Believe it or not, when I say quiz time, so I mind you all are like, yes, it's quiz time. You know, that's what I mind. You know, I got a big imagination. So here we go, guys. So what are we going to do? I am going to just shows you. I'm going to show you on the screen, you know, a sentence, you know, that is incomplete. All right. And you are going to use either good or well to complete it. Okay. You can do this on your own there, you know, in front of your computer, or you can also write your answer on the comments, which would be very good. Okay. I don't know if I say hello to Doris before, Janet, Edith, Marlis, Carlos, you know, welcome, welcome, everybody. Everybody's welcome. Let's practice some English. So, ready or not, here we go. So we have a sentence, okay, good. And we have the two options. And it's your turn to tell me what you think is the correct answer. So I'll give you some time. I give you some time. Okay. Let's see how you guys do with this. Okay, and you let me know. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. We have some answers. We have very well, well, very well. We have B. Somebody says B. Somebody says good. Somebody says well. Other people says well, good. So we have a mix, and that's great because in that way we know that we have to go over this. Okay, thank you, Diego, Rosa, Jose, Laura, Elsie. Thank you, Moni, Sonia. Very good, very good. So here we go, and the answer is, and before I tell you the answer, you have to always think, what am I talking about? Like, for example, if I say that the answer is well, so am I talking about the action or the person or the noun? If I say good, the same. Okay, is the question that you have to ask yourself. Okay, good. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. And the answer is well, because we are talking about the way this person, Michael, plays the saxophone. We're talking about the action. He plays well. Okay, we're talking about the action. So, well, good is impossible in this contest, no? In this contest. I could say that Michael is a good saxophone player, a saxo player. I could say that a good, but in this case, in this sentence, we're talking about the action. So the answer is well. So good for you if you answer well. If you answered good, remember what I said. Think about what you are modifying. Are you modifying the action or you're modifying the noun? Here we go. You have another chance. We have another chance. So let's do it now. The meal that Max cooked was very, okay, Max cooked yesterday. Okay, so the meal that Max cooked was very, let me see. We have Joanna. Joanna says good. Very good, actually. She said very good. She likes the way Max cooks. Okay. Carlos says good morning. Thank you, Diego, Aleja. Okay, we have some people that said good, many. We have a couple of wells. All right. Thank you, Rosita. Okay, Marisol, Rosa, Claudia. Thank you so much. That's good. I'm reading your comments here, and good. We have many goods. Yeah. And the answer, and again, what are you talking about? You're talking about the meal. It's a noun. You're modifying that noun. You're not talking about the way he cooked. No, we're talking about the meal that was very good. So the answer is good because we're modifying the noun. So we got two answers. And for some of you, I mind that you have one good, one bad, or you have two good, or maybe two wrong. Okay, here we are in the review. This is why the review is for. Ready for number three? I think I got four or five. Yeah, so ready for number three? Here we go. Here we go with number three. Sam is a very, and we're tennis player, okay? And we have the two options, adverb or adjective. Adverb of adjective. Claudia, the contest is the action is cook the meal. Yeah, but we're talking about the meal. We're not talking about the way he cooked. Okay, Claudia, I can explain that later. For this one, we have good, 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 good. Thank you, Diego, Rosa, Carlos, Claudia, Elsie. Elsie, nice to have you here. Judy says good. Valeria says good. Isabella says good as well. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Cami. Good. I got lots of good. I don't have a well. What if the answer is well? Hmm. Okay. And the answer is good. Very good. Sam is a very good tennis player. We're talking about the tennis player. So we're giving a characteristic to the tennis player. And we're saying that he's a good tennis player. And that's why we have lots of goods there. We're modifying the noun Valeria. Yes. And the noun is tennis player. Thank you, Valeria, for that explanation. And that's exactly what I want. Noun modified by the adjective, good. Verb modified by the adverb, well. Okay? You guys are following me. Okay? Carlos sends a sentence and says, Sam plays tennis well. And that's totally correct. Because in that sense, you're talking about the way he plays. Very good, Carlos. And thank you for that comment. This is the way we practice. This is the way we think things. We understand things. We make, sense of things. And that's the way you learn English and the way you practice English. All right. All right. So what about another one? I think I have another one. Yes, I do. I have another one. And it says, Rick speaks Japanese very, and here you have the two options. Okay. Remember, what are you modifying? What are you modifying? Okay, here we go. Joanna goes for well. She says, well is the answer. We have Nini there, George, Rosa. Thank you, George. Okay, Aleja, very good, very good. Okay, Maria del Pilar, everybody's going for well this time. Okay, Claudia, Marisol, very good. Very good, very good. Laura, very good. Well, I'm looking at lots of wells. I hope the answer is well, so I can say they understand the topic. Yeah, good. So here we go. Let's reveal, the mystery. And the answer is well. We're talking about the way he speaks, the action. We're modifying the action. And that's why I say Rick speaks Japanese very well. Very good. And why we are discussing this? Because there are many adjectives and there are many adverbs. Aleja, is possible both. Well, the answer, Alejandra, is that it's always possible both, but if you modify the sentence. In this particular sentence that we have there, we are talking about the action, the way he speaks. So I say, Reed speaks Japanese very well. I cannot say very good. But I could say, Carlos, thank you, Carlos. I love you. Really, really, I mean, from the top of my heart, thank you for writing that, Carlos. His Japanese is good. Yeah, that's a good example of how I can say I can use good. Yeah, Carlos, if you don't mind, and if you can write this for me or somebody, you can also say Rick is a good Japanese speaker, or is a very good Japanese speaker. That's another way, another way, another way. Thank you, Carlos. Thank you for that. And if somebody can write that sentence for me, I would love it. I would really appreciate it. Yeah, yeah. So Rick is a good or a very good Japanese speaker. Yeah. Juliana, I did. I miss you a lot. Thank you for, yeah, of course. I always miss you guys when you are drop and come and buy, you come and go. That's good. That's good. So, for Alejandra's question, is it possible both? I mean, you can use adjectives or adverbs, but you have to modify the sentence because you're talking about some things that are different. Thank you, Carlos. Carlos, you know, love you. Yeah, again, very good, very good, very good. I'm fine. Danny, are you asking if we can use the adjective fine? Thank you, Diego. Diego, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Diego. If Danny, if you are asking if we can use the adjective fine, yeah, I could say he's a fine Japanese speaker. Yeah, he's a good Japanese speaker. He's a fine Japanese speaker. I mean, yeah, yeah. I am fine. You're modifying the noun. You're talking about you. Yeah, yeah. Very good. Yeah. When we discuss good and well, we said that the answer for the question, "How are you? How you doing?" Yeah, or that question, you could say, "I'm fine," or you could say, "I'm well." Both are accepted with a twist. Okay. Hello, Nasli. Hello, Rovira. Danny, Rovira, I think you were here, but I hadn't say hello to you anyway. So that's pretty much it. Let's see if I have an extra one. I don't. Yes, I have the last one. So at this point, you might have 4 points, 3 points. I don't know, but I think you are making sense of this again, and that's why we have the review to refresh our memories. That we always need that. So last one. Can this Barbie's husband did not do on the exam. Yeah. Well or good. Yeah. Well or good. You know. Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see what we get. Immorta, we have well. We have a couple of wells. Claudia, thank you. Joanna, Carlos, thank you, Carlos. Okay, we have wells. We have wells. I mind Rovira, thank you. I mind you're asking yourself, okay, am I talking about can? Am I talking about the exam? Am I talking about the way he did on the exam? That's the answer. Okay, good. Yeah. Yeah. So you're talking about can or you're talking about the exam? If you're talking about can or the exam, the answer is good. But if you're talking about the way he did, you know, you are definitely using an adverb here. Ken did not do well. You didn't do well. You do well on something. I did well on my test. I did well on my class. So it's definitely well. We're talking about the way he did on the test, on the exam. So for those of you who answer well, yes, you got it. You definitely got it. Okay. Moral conclusion. Yeah. Anytime you want to describe a verb, use an adverb. There are different adverbs, not only well, uh, softly, deliciously, here, there, that are adverbs also, good. Yeah. I mean, there are so many different adverbs. Okay. And if you're talking about a noun, use an adjective, and there are many. We have studied some here, and we will continue studying this kind of things. These are the things that make your English better or better. Right, good. Yeah, these little things, understanding these things and using them. All right. So thank you very much for your participation on this little exercise. you know. And as I said at the beginning of the class, today, how about this? Huh? Ah, I love it. Well, no, I mean, I don't look that well there, but yeah, it's a nice touch. All right, good. So we are going to talk about phrases for confident conversation. And this is a topic somebody mentioned that said, okay, how can I can talk to a person, but I need some phrases, to continue with a conversation and feel a little bit better when I'm talking to somebody. So there are some phrases that you can use. And what we are going to do here is I'm going to show you some phrases. These phrases have different purposes. You use the phrases with different intentions. All right. We are going to identify those intentions. And at the end, we will have a collection of around 16 phrases that you can use with some intentions when you are in a conversation. All right. I hope you find this useful because I do think it is very useful. All right. So, are you ready? I hope you are. Okay, good. And remember, next Monday, we will have a review about this. All right. So, you better keep it in mind. Okay, so let's start by discussing some things that you have to keep in mind when having a conversation, some things that are very important. Number one, conversations shift and change, and this is one of the things that are difficult for teachers, you know because when we are in a class, we try to prepare, students for some situations. So we have a conversation, and you say, hey, how are you? You say, oh, I'm doing well. And you? Oh, I'm okay, thank you. So you got a conversation. But sometimes in real life, conversations, they just change. I mean, they can go from one topic to another. You can ask a question and maybe the answer is not what you were expecting. So real life is a little more difficult. All right, good. So something to keep in mind. You have to be ready for that. Now, another thing, conversations are two ways. Yeah, don't feel pressure, don't feel pushed to answer questions. You can ask questions as well. Yeah, it's not a one-way thing. It's not that you are in an interrogation room. No, it's a conversation. So you can also change things around. You can also move things around. And that's why expressions like the ones we are going to study are important. All right. Yeah. Because sometimes you really feel like, okay, you go to a conference, you go to somewhere in the United States, or you have the opportunity to talk to a foreigner. I say, okay, what is he going to ask me? Remember, this is a two-way thing. All right. And number three, conversations can vary depending on who you are talking to, you know, because that person you are talking to, we need to know the background, we need to know the topics, and all that. And also what you are talking about. So those two things are important. It's not the same that I'm talking to, the manager of a company, we're in a conference, that if I'm talking to a friend at a party. All right, good. Different things there. So always keep those things in mind. And here we go. Here we go. Number one, expressions that you can use to ask for other people's opinions. All right, because again, it's not only what you can answer, you can also ask questions. All right, and I have here three expressions that are, very common and that you can use. Number one, do you agree? You know, simple question. Yeah, do you agree with what we are talking about? Yeah, how do you feel about this? Yeah, you are in a party and say, hey, how do you feel about the music? Oh, you like it? You're making conversation, you're asking for the opinion. And another one is, I like to know your opinion about this. A little more formal. Yeah, I like to know your opinion about this. All right. Yeah, good. You are in a conversation at work. You're discussing, something from your work, and you can say, sorry, I like to know your opinion about this. And in that way, you are making conversation. And always try to be an active listener. Try to pay attention, try to see if you can ask a question. That's good. So ask for other people's opinion. Tip number one. All right, good. So here we go. Okay, keep in mind that. What do you think about, Carlos is throwing another question. Thank you. All right, good. Valeria, good, good. Thank you. Good. And that's exactly what I want you to do. Think about other, because I'm pointing out some expressions, but these are some. And now we're going to do a little exercise. Okay. So we have tip number one, ask for opinions. These are some possibilities. Tip number two. Okay. We're going to tip number two. Double check information. And this is, I mean, as it is in the picture, sometimes you say something and the other person understands something totally different, or vice versa, So it is very important that you learn how to paraphrase, how to double check what you think you understood. And don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of asking, you know. I think that's something that some of us have, that when we are using the language we are learning, we are afraid of asking, because we don't want to look silly, like, oh, did I really understand, what they are talking about, so ask, paraphrase. Okay. And we have here some expressions. You mean, all right. Yeah. Hey, we're going somewhere, whatever, we're going to meet at this time in this place. You mean we will meet at 5 a.m.? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what I meant. Oh, okay, good. So you are double checking the information. All right, good. And it's a nice way of keeping up the conversation. Yeah. You said that, Yeah, you said that. All right, good. All right, good. So what you are saying is, paraphrasing. There is a nice strategy that I always teach my students, that is shadowing. Like when you see a shadow of your hand, is repeating what the other person said. So you say, oh, you are in a meeting. Somebody says we will have an increase of 30%, in the sales. And so you said, what you are saying is that we will have an increase of 30% in the sales. That's a beautiful strategy to double check. Okay, good. Yeah, so double check information. We have three expressions. I don't want to give you 20, but there are three here. And in a moment, you'll do a little exercise with this. Okay, so don't go anywhere. Number four is agree with information. Learn some expressions to say, that's my opinion, I agree with that. Okay, good. I see your point. Okay, I understand and I share what you are talking about. Yeah, I see what you mean. All right, I see what you mean. And I'm totally for that idea. I'm totally for selling more. I'm totally for going out, Yeah, I'm totally for something. All right, good. Yeah. So I see your point. I see what you mean, and I'm totally for. Three expressions, okay, that you can use. Valeria, good. Uy, Carlos, that it works. Carlos is asking about an expression. Let me get it straight. Beautiful. That's an expression you can use to paraphrase. A little more advanced, Carlos, but great expression. Thank you. Thank you for contributing with those expressions. I think this is a construction, of meaning, and that's what we're doing here. Thank you. Thank you, Carlos. Great. Valeria, let me see if I understand. You're saying that. Okay, I lean towards your opinion. Very good. You agree with that information. Wow, Carlos, nice vocab. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. And number four, that is the last one that we are saying today, is disagree with information. There's nothing wrong if you have a different point of view. All right. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Always be, polite about disagreeing. That's my recommendation in any language. Yeah. So you might be right, but I mean, you have, some good points there, but, and you say your opinion, I don't really agree. I'm sorry. I don't really agree with that. Okay, good. Yeah. Never say I'm agree. Never say that. I am agree. No, I agree. Okay, which is a very common, mistake that we make. And you have a point, but, you know, you have a point, but I think this and this. All right. So these are three expressions that you can use for disagreeing. Okay, good, great. Um, Patricia, this class is always free, but unfortunately, and I'm being honest, it's not every day. It's on Mondays. It's only on Mondays at 5 p.m. But I'll be here every Monday at 5 p.m. to share with you this information. Okay, good. Yeah, and it's free. Yes, it's free. All right, good. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. So we have the four categories. I called in that way. And what we are going to do now is that we are going to practice a little, as we always do. This time around, I'm going to show you a new expression, and you are going to tell me what is the category that it belongs to. Easy, easy does it. All right, here we go. This is the expression. If I understand correctly, you are bringing the money tomorrow. Number one, two, three, or four. You guys tell me. Alejandro, you've been lost. You've been lost in the class, Alejandro. Hold on, relax, and take a deep breath. I'm sure that you'll get it. Okay, good. Joanna says that this new expression, if I understand correctly, you are bringing the money tomorrow, is number two. Double check information. Your double check. Thank you, Carlos, Danny, Lauren, Isabella. Very good. Elsie. Good. Oh, you're going for number two. So we have a new expression. If I understand correctly, blah blah blah. If I understand correctly, blah blah blah. And some people says it's number two. Let's see. Yes, it's number two. You're double checking information. And remember, it is always important that you do that. Okay. Yeah. So you say, if I understand correctly, ta 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 ta. And the person will tell you, the person will tell you, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Or the person will tell you, not really. What I wanted to say was this. All right. Good. Yeah. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay, let's do another one. And you have the four. I would go along with what you just said. I would go along, or I go along with what you just said. To go along with something. To go along with something. One, two, three, or four. Thank you, Patricia. I'll be here, with you all that time. Carlos, thank you, Danny, Joanna, Aleja. I'm looking at many threes. I'm looking at many threes everywhere. That's good. When I see so many threes, it means that you are getting it. I hope it's number three. Thank you, Cami, Euzi. Very good. Richard, agree. Okay, you are agreeing with the information. You go along with something. You go along with something. Okay, so here we go. Let's see. Yes, it's number three. You guys are agreeing with something. Yeah, I would go along with that idea. I agree with what you are saying. Very good, guys. Great. Two more to go. two more to go. We have more, you know. I'm sure you have seen this before. I'm afraid I'm not so sure about that. I'm afraid I'm not so sure about that. You know, one, two, three, four. We have, let's see, I think we still have the answers of the last one. Now we have the new answers. Somebody says one, somebody says four, somebody says one. Thank you. We have a couple of ones, fours. We have many fours. Somebody says disagree. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Lauren, Gina, Aileen. Yeah, number four, Cami, and number four, Iluz, Maria, four. We got many fours, and we will see. Pay attention. It is number four, okay? I'm afraid. In the moment that you say I'm afraid, is that okay? Wait, there's something going on here. I'm not so sure about that. You are no, you know, agreeing with that. Yeah, you don't agree with something. Good. Yeah, very good, very good. Yeah, very good, guys. Excellent. And the last one to complete all these expressions. How do you feel about the current situation? How do you feel about the current situation? Yeah. And I'm reading you here. How do you feel about the current? I didn't get you. I'm sorry. Yeah, we have ones everywhere. Because I know this is very easy. I left it for the end because I knew, it was kind of self-explanatory. All right. Thank you guys. They need yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, all of you. So we have 16 expressions for these four things. Remember, you can ask for other people's opinions, you can double check information, you can agree with information, and you can disagree with information. And this one is to ask for other people's opinions, all right, together with the others that we saw before. Good. Now, this is in your hands. It's about taking a couple of these expressions and incorporating these expressions into your speaking, into your writing, into your testing in English. You know? Yeah. So next time you want to ask for an opinion, maybe you are not going to say, hey, what do you think of? But you're going to say, hey, how do you feel about, you know? And in that way, your English is going to get better. Well, Joanna, sometimes the question have to be tricky. Remember that we teachers like tricky things. So for next class, we will do a review about this. And what we are going to do now is that we're going to use the last 15 minutes, believe it or not, we have the last 15 minutes to discuss a pronunciation trick and our idiomatic expression. Let's see if we can do all this. All right. So don't forget about this. Don't forget about the four strategies and expressions. You can also collect other expressions. Carlos was sharing with us, some expressions. You can also say, okay, what other expression can I use for ask for other people's opinions? Or what other expression can I use to agree with information? There are many. And here, the more the merrier, as you could say, in English, but also don't collect many and don't use them. It's better that you use a couple, that you have 10 and you don't use any of them. So that would say, okay, good. So here we go. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Let me tell you what we are going to do now. Okay. We're going to discuss briefly, because this is a topic that we, I also, like recycle some topics because I see they are very important. We're going to discuss the concept of word stress, because this is a concept that is going to improve your pronunciation in English. Okay. And what you see on the picture there is an example of what word stress is. You can see that in some of these words, some syllables are bigger than the others. Yeah. We have some syllables that are bigger than the others, like for example, in the word climate, cli is bigger than mate. Yeah. Or geography, you know, so graph is bigger than the other. All right. Or critical. All right. And that's what word stress is. And word stress, sorry, can you hear me, guys? Can you please tell me if you can hear me? I need you to confirm you guys are listening to me. Yes, Richard. Okay. Okay. So maybe it's a problem with Joanna. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, guys. So somebody said acentos in Spanish there. Okay. Thank you, Aleja. Thank you so much. Acentos. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is a concept that I don't like to translate. I don't have anything against translation, but word stress is that emphasis that you have. Thank you guys for checking that you're listening to me. Thank you so much. Yeah. So I have a definition here. We'll read it. This is a little carretuda, but so syllables in English are not said with the same force or strength. In one word, we accentuate, somebody used that word, one syllable. We say one syllable very loudly, big, strong, important, and all the other syllables very quietly. So that's what word stress is about. It's identifying in a word, yeah, what syllable has that force, that strength, and that will improve your pronunciation, no doubt. Yeah. The capital letters, I should say longer. No, not really, Danny. If you are asking that, I wouldn't say that. All right. Yeah. Yeah, this is not about capital letters or no capital letters. It's about the stress and identifying the syllables. So let's do a couple of examples. This is a concept that I just want to, mention briefly. We have some words here, and these words are all related. They are from the same family. The first one, the first word that we have there, is a noun. It refers to the piece what you see, in your telephone or if you have it printed. Yeah. The second one is also a noun, but it refers to the person, who does the action, you know. And the third one is also a noun, but it refers to, you know, the concept of the art, you know, if you want to put it that way. Okay. And believe it or not, guys, all these words, these three words that you see on the screen, they have different word stress, even though they are familiar. And that's why word stress is so important. All right. And I'm going to give you the example right now. On the first word, yeah, the word stress is on the first syllable. Yeah. So you say photograph, photograph, so there is word stress on the first syllable. In the second word, the word stress is on the second syllable. Photographer, yeah, or photographer, some people would say photographer. All right, so word stress on the second syllable. And in the third word, the word stress is on the third syllable. Photographic, graphic. All right. So you see how important it is, to hear the stress in individual words when you're listening to English. And you can do this when you're listening to television, when you're talking to somebody or you're listening to somebody. I don't know if you guys are fan of podcasts, audio podcasts. I mean, it's a great thing to do. Okay. Eusi, your question is the question of the $1 million. Yeah. How can you know? There are some rules, but from my experience, I would say practice, practice, and practice. For example, I don't know. Check a word that is very familiar to you. I'm gonna tell you one word that is familiar for me. I am thinking, um, teacher, teacher. The word stress is teacher. Okay, I never say teacher, teacher. And if you ask me for the rule, I think I know the rule, but I never think of the rule. I always know that it's teacher because it's a word that I use very much. Yeah, good. Yeah, so that's something I can tell you. Okay, yeah. So it's a matter of training your ear to identify, uh, the words, and I'm working with them. So that's what I could tell you. All right. It's a matter of practice. I would prefer you do this by practicing that by memorizing a rule. Because when you are in real life, I still have time. Yes, you don't have time for the rule. Believe me, you don't have time for that. I mean, you're not going to say something, say, okay, what is the rule to say this word? No, no, no. Come on. It's a matter of practice. All right, good. Somebody asked me about podcasts I recommend. I'll give you a couple in a second. But before we finish, because I want you to think of this. I have three words here. The first word has two syllables. The second word has two syllables, and the third word has two syllables. Where is the word stress on the first word? Somebody tell me. Where is the word stress? On the first syllable or the second syllable? I'm talking about the first word. Think about it. Think about it. Let's see. Danny, thank you for that. Oh, Danny, you rock. Danny says problem, and he writes pro there. That's an excellent strategy too. Yeah, and Jamie says on the first. Valeria, thank you for writing that. Lucecela said on the second. Yeah, I'm talking about the first word, and let's see if Danny is right. Okay. Yeah. Richard, firme, three syllables, problem. Valeria, don't go to the second word yet. Let's check the first word before the time is over. On the first syllable, so I say problem, problem. Yeah. I see somebody. The second. Oh, you tell me first. Valeria says, what about the second one? Somebody said mistake, on the second. Yeah, let's say. Somebody wrote, Claudia, thank you. Cami, thank you. Nini, thank you for your feedback there. Okay, so let's check the second. The second is mistake on the second, mistake. All right. And the last one is error. Error. You would never say in English error. Error is Spanish. You so say error, error. All right. So it's on the first syllable. All right. Good. Yeah. And this is the way you practice. All right. The way you have to practice. And it's an exercise I would like you to do. Okay. Good. Yeah. And before we go to Rafa, you wouldn't say error. No. In English, you say error. Error. Okay. In Spanish, you say error. But in English, you say error. The emphasis is, or the word stress is on the first letter that is the syllable. All right. Error. The first one. Okay. Thank you, Joanna, for your answer. Thank you, Elsie. Thank you, everybody, for participating so much. Good. Yeah. And before we move into the last activity, yeah, um, Somebody asked me about the podcast stuff. Yeah, so there are many podcasts. I wouldn't say one is better than the other, but I mean, it's a matter of what you want to practice. There's a podcast I love that is called All Ears English. It's a nice podcast with two women there, and it's beautiful. For those of you who like British English, there's a BBC podcast. I don't remember the name, but if you look for BBC podcast, that's a great one. And there's another podcast that is called Better English. Better English. There are many. There are many. Better English, which is great. I mean, all of these sources are beautiful. Jamie is all ears, Aleja. You got it. Elsie, thank you. Jamie is recommending Espresso English on Spotify. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, all ears, Aleja is correct. Aleja, you got it right. All ears English. I think that's the name of the podcast. All ears English. All right, good. Good, good, good. Yeah. And one of these days, I have the project of putting up a podcast right there. I will give you the information if we do that. All right. Podcasts, All right. Good. So let's check our last stuff. That is something before we go. Keep in mind one word, one stress. There's no way that, if you have one word, it's going to have different stress. One word cannot have two stresses. So if you hear two stresses, you're listening to something and you hear two different word stress, is maybe two words, different words, okay? Maybe you don't understand the word, but you know that there are two. The stress is always on a vowel, something just to keep in mind. And to finish today, guys, I have the idiom of the week. So important, so important. And I don't know where you have the idioms we have studied before, but idioms is a nice way of showing your English at another level. So I got here cut from the same cloth. Cut from the same cloth. And I have an example there that says, father and son are cut from the same cloth and even sound alike on the telephone. That could be applied to my brother and I. Yeah, we're cut from the same cloth on the telephone. On the telephone. All right, good. Yeah. So, what's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of cut from the same cloth? Rosa, you got it in Spanish. Beautiful. Love it. Thank you, Rosa. Ya, cortados con la misma tijera. Richard, thank you so much. Johanna, hijo de tigre, sale pintado, right? Cortados con la misma tijera. In English, you would say cut from the same cloth. Okay, not the same scissors. All right, good. Yeah, so very good. Very similar. To be very similar, cut from the same cloth. All right, yeah. Start thinking, who are you cut from the same cloth with? Your brother, your father, your mother? I don't know. All right, good. Guys, this is all for today. I thank you very much. I don't know if you have any question before we go. We will be here next Monday, 5 p.m. Okay. Yeah, yeah. And I'm so happy to be back. All right. Remember, Colombiano Sune Facebook page. You can find this recording. And well, we're always here, sharing. We will do our review. Thank you, Rafa. Excellent. Thank you, Danny, Joanna. Thank you so much, Rosita. Yeah, thank you all you guys. Love to be here for us. Okay, Nini, take it easy. I will see you next Monday, on the dot, 5 p.m. Colombian time. Okay. So please be here, and invite your friends. Invite everybody. We can have an hour of learning English. Thank you, David. Thank you, Marisol, Laura, Elsie. I'll see you next week, Elsie. David, take it easy, my man. Okay, Joanna, Lustela, Carlos, wherever you are, thank you so much for your attention and your contributions today. Okay, I will see you next Monday. Be here, please. And if you have questions, please drop them on the comments. I always read the comments. Okay. Yeah. So whatever feedback, whatever you want, I mean, we can do it. We can do it. All right. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you so much. Thank you, Camila. Yeah. Aileen. Thank you, Maria del Pilar. Love to read from you guys. See you soon. See you next week. Have a beautiful week. I hope your week is full of positive things. All right. Good. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. They haven't cut me yet, which is great. So I can say goodbye to you all. Okay. Thank you